Have any of you had an employee or customer who simply refuses to believe you're legitimately trying to help them? Almost as if you're specifically trying to fuck with them and never have them feel like their issues are resolved? Like, you woke up, ate some breakfast, grabbed a coffee, sat in traffic, came to work, clocked in. And now it's your life mission to just make one specific person feel completely miserable with 100% malicious intent? That's how this person has been feeling about me for the last 2 months ever since I deployed her thin client and shipped it to her house where she works remote in another state. I've built umpteen thin clients and laptops by now. I can do 10 of them at the same time with my eyes closed. All manually too, no scripting or using image files. I know exactly what's on every machine because we get them brand spanking new, and I'm the grunt who installs everything and authenticates new users so that when they receive their shit, they're good to go right out of the box. We'll call her Cora because man she gets on my nerves and is angsty as shit when she opens her mouth, but since Avatar The Last Airbender was so amazing I constantly give her a chance. Everything she says that's either working or not working, or even things she just observes. Apparently everything tech-related is out to get her. I think she might be a paranoid schizo? I really don't know. Here are some examples of her questions, and her voice is always shaking with triggering anger and upset vibes. It's been so incredibly awkward. Why are my personal files showing up on my work computer? After she had signed into her personal OneDrive on her work computer. Why do I have to go to Microsoft.com to change my password? Every time I try to go there it redirects me to a different site, and that's something the IT team needs to take care of. I tell her again, because we do everything in the cloud. And it's not redirecting you, it's sending you to the English, United States version of the website, referring to how typing in www.microsoft.com https://www.microsoft.com changes to https://www.microsoft.com/n/https://www.microsoft.com/n/. How am I supposed to keep my programs secure and up to date when I can't install them? Because you're not an administrator and we've gone over multiple times how you are to send in a ticket when you need anything installed or updated. That is my job, not yours. Why does it show I'm signed into multiple computers? See, I told you somebody is in my system. Because you left your machine at home when you went to visit the office 2 weeks ago and I helped you sign into a vacant computer while you were there. How come everyone has a VPN and I'm the only one lacking security? Nobody else has a VPN. You're looking at their screen and seeing Norton VIP, which is a token/2FA tool for banking. And you're not in that department. I don't install things that people don't need, and I'm not treating others with more secure machines and not you. That would make no sense. Here's the real kicker, and I'll make it the last one because I can go on forever with her. Somebody edited the PDF I saved with all my passwords and also edited the email you sent me with all my passwords. This is a compromise of compliance and security, and I've CC'd my superiors on this issue. It's up to the IT team to fix this. This was the last straw for me. Now she's calling us out for not doing our jobs, of which for the most part there hasn't been much remediating, mostly just telling her hey dum-dum everything is fine, stop tripping. Your sent or received emails aren't being edited. That's not how it works. You saved the wrong email as a PDF. No I didn't, she said. I'm sorry, yes you did, I would say. And I continued, when I sent you the welcome email, I used a template and I copy and pasted from the last new hire. One of the usernames was incorrect, so I apologized and sent you another one, remember? She'd say yes I remember you sending me another one, that's the one I saved. Me, the PDF you saved doesn't have the incorrect username from the first welcome email. Her, yes it does. Me, so. You saved the incorrect email. Her, no, I know for a fact I saved the corrected email you sent after. Denial is weird. And #X200B. Some people just can't get certain things through their heads. Apparently she had been giving her team a terrible time the last few months, and this incident was the last straw after I called to talk to her superior about the fact that I can't seem to get through to her and I'm doing everything that I can. Always have a paper trail, always explain everything as best as you can. My boss and her boss knew what was up immediately after our last conversation. You gotta always cover your ass and you gotta always stand up for yourself. I rock at my basic help desk job and I love every minute being here and learning. Fuck up on out of here if you're trying to tell me I'm not doing my job when you're a paranoid individual. That's not my problem. A half hour later HR sends in a ticket to disable her Microsoft account immediately. And #X200B. And #X200B. Edit, I never used the name I designated her in the beginning, lol, I'm dumb, and actually for the most part I really enjoyed The Legend of Korra. Years ago, I was the top contact for point-of-sale support for a high-end hotel chain in the US. One day, I got a call from our San Diego location. They were setting up 6 bar terminals for a Comic-Con event that evening, and all of them kept randomly shutting down and restarting. I was a bit mystified, because it was happening randomly to each terminal, as opposed to all at once. At one point, their on-site tech mentioned that it was kind of hard to read the screen, but I didn't think much of it. Everything looked fine from a network perspective, until the machines would indeed randomly restart after 10-15 minutes. Very unusual behavior, and it wasn't affecting any of the 20-ish other identical terminals at the hotel. After speaking with the on-site tech for about 45 minutes, he reveals some key information while making chit-chat. Man, it's so hot out here. Wait, are you outside? Yeah, I think they said it was the hottest it's ever been this time of year. Okay. And these terminals are all outside? Yep. Are they in direct sunlight? Uh-huh. On the hottest day on record. I think I've figured out what is going on. Set up some umbrellas over the terminals, and let's hope there's no permanent damage. Been a while since my last post here. Been a while since my last job in IT. But I come with a short one because sometimes I cannot believe how incompetent some people can be when it comes to basic computer usage in 2021. In this story that takes place during one of the many lockdowns we've experienced over these past 2 years, I was working from home as an IT engineer for an undisclosed MSP. The customers I'd work with are staff members responsible for either teaching English as a second language students, college students, or recruitment partners for job hunting services. Our systems are pretty heavily into the whole Microsoft everything as a service, single sign-on ecosystem. Office 365, MS Teams, etc. etc. Even logging into the Wi-Fi in Office relies on your current login details and ed. During lockdown, we had to overhaul our IT security so that certain systems couldn't be accessed without a company VPN, which changed configurations like 3 times, and didn't support some protocol that Windows insisted on enabling for the VPN profile. This is very relevant, I assure you. One day, while I'm seeing to my current project of ensuring all devices in our network are running the latest version of Windows, I get an urgent support request from a user. Let's call this person Diana. Diana tells me that she cannot access the computer, and that she needs access immediately. Now, many of you might be thinking expired password. I was at first too. Our password policy is that passwords invalidate after 6 months. But you can still log into the computer if you aren't connected to the domain. I reset her password and get her to try and log in, but she just says she cannot access her computer. I ask her to tell me if there are any errors when she tries to log in. Same response. I ask her for her asset tag, so I can remote in. She gives me this, but our remote management software doesn't see her device as online. I tried asking her to turn it off and on again, and I actually get a new response this time. She tells me that the computer is sleeping. The way she said it, it felt weirdly phrased. After pressing some more, I discovered that the monitor was actually going into sleep mode, and she was just turning the monitor on and off. When she wasn't using it. To save you the blow-by-blow, I then spent about 15 minutes getting her to understand that her PC wasn't the monitor, but the thing the monitor was plugged into, in this case her work laptop. She couldn't understand why it didn't just work because that's how it had worked for so long until now. It turned out that her house had experienced a power failure overnight, which lasted several hours. All our devices after being imaged are configured to never switch off while on charge, but they do go into hibernate if they are left on for over 2 hours on battery. When her power restored, The machine had already switched off and had to be manually switched on, but she had never done this in the lifespan of her using the device. She just thought the monitor she had attached to it was all she needed to do. So after that little lesson, I took the opportunity to make sure she could log in, that everything was working, and called it a day. 40-minute call, just to get her to press the right power button. First post here, so a little introduction. I work in a computer store in Belgium for almost 14 years now. This week a customer came into the shop and threw a plastic bag with 3 discs in it on the counter. I came up to him and he started to ask if we could help him with getting the data of the discs. They were a little smaller than a CD/DVD. Before I could answer him, he continued telling that my boss told him that we can get data of it. Before I could ask anything, he continued that the discs were discs out of a hard drive. It is the time of year where my department starts conducting training for our company dealerships located all over the US and a few placed overseas. Last year the pandemic forced us to do it all totally online. This actually worked great for a few products, and those are now only going to be taught online going forward. I got assigned one of these to teach this year and decided I should watch the recording from last year. This will let me figure out the format it used along with any updates or changes where I could make it better. This training talked about a topic for 5-7 minutes, asked some review questions the students answered in the Zoom chat, then allowed students to ask questions before moving on to topic 2 where the format repeated. Topic 1 was all about compatibility. It clearly and repeatedly states that controller A only works with option A and the newer controller B only works with option B. They look the same, but mix and match shit isn't going to fly. Then it moved on to the review questions where question 1 was if controller A would function with option B. Everyone typed no in the comments like good little student, and on to the next question. When it was time for the students to ask questions, the first one to appear in the chat window was, all my option A's are on back order. Can I use the option B's to finish the installations instead? You could almost see the presenter die inside because that is literally all he'd just been talking about.